We have a saying around here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no brains, no headache.
Well, hello, boys.
What's up? What's up?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
No Brains, No Headache Podcast, episode 229. We're going to get it started off in a good old greasy fashion, the way we like to do it here on the show. Welcome. Thank you so much for being with us here today for another edition. Matt Cleary is my co-host, confident, longtime friend, fellow comedian. I call him Ongo. He's going to be at my side today. Name's Jordan Weichel. Happy to be here. Damn glad to do it, Matt. We got another one in the books as we round out 2024. Welcome to the show. Good evening.
Do you know your jersey's on backwards?
Yes. Jersey's on backwards. The Vikes are 11-2. We're going to make our run now. Okay, JJ got going. The wide receivers, they came to play. Sammy Darnold, he played for your Panthers, threw 5 touchdowns, career high. Plus, apparently, Randy Moss dealing with some sort of ass cancer, apparently, or something like that. So
I'm just going to assume ass cancer.
Yep, I'm assuming a lot here, but repping Randy Moss, the Vikes, skull, here we go. Yes, I'm aware it's on backwards, and you know what? We're just going to roll with it, because that's what we do here, No Brains, No Headache Land.
Do you see that they caught the guy that killed that United Healthcare guy?
Yeah, what's going on there? Assassination, huh?
He looked similar to Luigi.
Did he?
Yeah, and his name's also Luigi.
Okay. So Luigi's going to be at the forefront of our thoughts here on episode 229. They caught him.
Yeah, Mario's still out there, but
I did see a bunch of things making fun of the New York Police Department, the NYPD for short, of them looking for this particular person in Central Park. And it just seemed like they're out for a walk. Out walking the dog.
I mean, essentially that's what you're doing when you're looking for someone. But also, how did no cameras or anything? You know how they caught him?
I have no idea.
He went to a cafe and was hitting on the barista.
Nice. A little death gets the blood flowing down south for that guy.
Yeah, but so he's doing good things, I guess.
Wow. Off to a hot start. I didn't think we were going to talk about healthcare, and here we are. No, I did not know that, but that's a tragedy. It sounds like some deep state stuff. A little out of my pay grade to give my opinion on it. I don't really know what's going on. Hopefully they catch him. Murder is not good.
Who was on your Spotify rap?
Oh, yeah. Shit, I got to find this. I forgot to do this before the show started. That's 100% my bad. Let me pull it up here real quick. Spotify rap came out. Who's on yours, people?
My artist was pretty standard across the board. MGK, Bailey Zimmerman, Morgan Wallen, Noah Khan, and Post Malone.
Sounds kind of...
my songs is where it gets weird.
Doesn't sound heterosexual.
Yeah, Let It Go from Frozen was number 2.
Okay, here we go. I got top artists. I got Post Malone, Morgan Wallen, Chris Stapleton, Blink-182, and Zach Bryan. Even though I just trashed Zach Bryan a couple episodes ago.
He makes some good music, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad at all. My top songs are I Fall Apart, Post Malone, One More Time, Blink-182, Chemical, Post Malone, Illusion, Dua Lipa, Hello. I'm a big Dua fan. I'm surprised she's not my top 5.
Who's Dua Lipa?
Oh, my God. You should probably leave number 5, Chris Stapleton. So that's our Spotify Wrapped, because you definitely care as a loyal listener of this show.
If you want to know, Teenage Dirtbag was my number 1 song, followed by Let It Go from Frozen. So
okay, and then where from there?
Don't Let Me Go.
Let It Go, Don't Let Me Go. Which one is it? This is confusing. You're confusing yourself.
I just play them one after another. And
do I go? Do I not go?
It's usually when I have one angel telling me to kill myself, and the other one that's like,
wait, the angel's telling you to kill?
Yeah, but then the devil's like, you might want to stick around, because the angel knows what I'm doing to myself. So it's like, you might want to just come. I'm not going to heaven. Is there a heaven? I don't know.
Getting deep here on episode 229.
I think Angels on the Moon by Thriving Ivory's on there. And
jeez, how does that go?
Angels on
Hiki hakoko hopa kato hoka.
And then Backfired, which I think is by some random artist. I don't even know. I have terrible taste in music, I'll be honest. None of it's good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good Backfired joke, and it's not coming to me.
Ooh, I went to that independent wrestling again this weekend.
How was that?
It was good. It was pretty much the same exact thing that we did 2 years ago.
They're midgets?
No. Oh.
Where's the top podcast? Where's that at?
I didn't see that on mine.
Well, there was one thing there was very common, and maybe some people out there will know what I'm talking about when they told you what phase you're going through. Pink Pilates Princess Strut Pop. Anybody else have that one?
You might be alone in the world.
I think it was classic. So that was July, so that makes sense. Yeah. I'm at the lake a lot, bumping a lot of music, a lot of party tunes, keeping the beat heavy. I also there was a mall goth skateboarding pop punk season.
See, I probably got something similar to that.
Wild West slow dance country. That was February. I was very depressed.
That'll happen.
And then, I saw other people got the Pink Pilates Princess Strut Pop moment. So there's a lot going on there. I thought that was an interesting one. Where are the podcasts? Was No Brains, No Headache your top podcast?
I think we had 67 people that we were their top Spotify podcast.
Wow. Thank you to all 67.
Also, reevaluate your life.
Oh, man. Where's the podcast thing? The thing about Spotify Wrapped is you're there for a while. It's doing all these things. You're tripping on mushrooms, it looks like.
I just need, give me the meat and potatoes of it.
I was in the top 5% of comedy podcasts worldwide.
Nice.
Okay, my top podcasts, hopefully they're similar to yours. No Brains, No Headache, number 1.
Yeah, it didn't make my list.
Does that mean I'm a huge douche? Oh, God, it just went away on me. Oh, God, we got to go through this whole thing again? Yes, we know my top podcast topic was comedy. Top 5% worldwide. Okay, where are we at? We've got to hold it down. Number 2 is This Past Weekend with Theo Vaughn. 3, We Might Be Drunk. That's with Mark Norman and Sam Morrell. Number 4, First Date with Lauren Compton.
Well, what else do you masturbate to?
Well, Girls Next Level was number 5. I got some weird tastes in podcasts, but no, thank you to all who have listened out there. And like I said, hopefully No Brains, No Headache made your top podcast. I did see something about Zach Bryan, though. He was playing at a concert, and somebody just threw what looked like an entire 16-ounce beer up on stage and hit him I don't know if it hit him or it was close, though. It was a good throw.
I mean, his blockhead's a pretty huge target.
Yeah, and he just stopped the concert, so that made me think, you're paying to be there. I mean, some way, shape, or form. Matt, could you keep the fucking ice down to a bare roar?
Okay, go on.
Sorry. I'm a little testy this week. Vikes 11-2. Skull. You're paying to be at the concert, and you're throwing shit. That just doesn't make sense to me.
I would only throw an empty beer, mainly because I paid $16 for the beer.
You can't you're not going to get it as far.
Just hey, can I see your water and fill the beer back up just to huck it on stage?
Yeah, I don't know. I think. Do you think if you were on stage doing comedy and somebody threw something at you, would you take it as a compliment? You'd be like, "Oh my God, thanks," or go pick up the beer?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I know that they do that a lot of times. Girls will just throw their bras on stage.
Well, hello.
And then it's like,
you're gonna put it on?
Looks at the size of it and then throws it back if it's not big enough.
Give it a little whiff, maybe.
Or if it's the girl that's the tugboat at Taylor Swift.
Nah.
Dude, every time that gets me. I think I send it to you every time.
Yeah, I know.
If you look at your Instagram message,
you're getting inundated.
It's just tugboat girl.
Okay. I mean, I'm in agreement, but
oh, it's so funny.
It's
like the get back inside guy. It's just never not going to be funny.
Yeah. if Tugboat Girl's next to me at the concert, I'm probably going to get so drunk that I would take a tugger, just to try to make it a little more bearable. What am I saying? Episode 229. We got Spotify Wrapped and a whole lot more on deck here for you on 229.
No brains, no headache podcast.
Okay. Let's party.
What do we got? Am I up first?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Poor man's nachos. My bad. I'd rather go first, but slid in this week. Poor man's nachos. What do we got? They're delicious, first of all, and I have a whole thing on them. Oh, poor man's nachos are dangerous because then it's hard to go back to a normal chip.
Yeah, I mean, mostly I usually get way too big a thing of cheese, and then I run out of chips first.
Oh, I did the opposite. Well,
I get the 5-pound bag of cheese, and then I usually load it up, and I'm always like a hot sauce salsa kind of guy too that I sprinkle on there. It's when you get dangerous of if I had one more ingredient, they're no longer poor man's.
well, that's what I was going to bring up is minimal ingredients can go, a far way. And
Get
so
two.
I came across a bag of nacho cheese Doritos.
Oh yeah, then you're fucking.
I also had some shredded cheese in my fridge by chance that I just wasn't using. I didn't have anything to use it for. All of a sudden, my mind starts cooking up a delicious entree of poor man's nachos, which is essentially just cheese on chips melted in the microwave.
Oh yeah.
So I pull them out, right? And I'm like, hey, do I have some salsa? I don't, but I have sour cream. And I just a mountaintop.
Dude, sour cream's so good.
And the thing about poor man's nachos is you got to get at it quick, okay? That cheese, it starts hardening up a little bit. You think you got one chip, you pull it out, you got the whole platter on your chest. And it gets dangerous about halfway through, because I make a big old plate, a nice layer of chips, layer of cheese, a mountain of sour cream. Well, and that's all I had. And these are called poor man's nachos, people. Matt is trying to make a clear point here. You start to get into the 5+ ingredient range, that's no longer poor man's nachos.
I could argue this if you put on any sort of guacamole, even if that's only your second ingredient, no longer poor man's.
Because it's too high class.
Yeah. We need like sour cream that you forgot you had in your fridge.
Bingo. Hot sauce could be like a cheese chips hot sauce. I could see that.
I had a college roommate that used to he would do cheese and chips, and then he would just do a little drizzle of ranch around it.
I would see nothing wrong with that.
Dude, it was actually pretty good.
These are poor man's nachos.
Yeah.
You got to get creative. What's in the fridge?
I mean,
where do you draw the line?
Here's the best part.
French dressing?
That would be a little weird. So my roommate now, he's like, hey, my dad smoked a bunch of brisket. It's in the fridge.
I thought that was going to go a different direction. My dad smoked a bunch of weed.
And then made a bunch of brisket. And he's like, help yourself. And so I was like, oh, sweet. So I make a plate of poor man's nachos.
Oh, sweet with brisket? With no longer poor.
No longer, but it's not my brisket. It's my roommate's dad's
That's middle
brisket.
class. Those are middle class nachos.
That's white trash. It's if you're eating your roommate's dad's brisket that's left over.
I would say that's middle class nachos.
If someone's making their own guacamole.
It's not your brisket, but you acquired it, and you're combining that with your poor man's nachos, meats in the middle class.
What if it's a lesser meat, like pulled pork?
Now we are on a fine line. Are we? I think that's upper lower class.
Yeah, pulled pork's always the one that it's
pork.
It's
a pig.
It's what's standard. What's brisket?
Also probably just a different part.
It's the anus.
You want me to look it up?
No, I don't really care enough.
Well, now I'm looking it up.
I mean, a nice chicken
Meat
would be good.
Cuts of a pig.
You could have just looked up what is brisket. 'Cause now you're gonna go through all.
No, here it's right here. I knew this was gonna be a thingy.
A spare rib.
Where the fuck is the brisket? Okay, we're backtracking. This is No Brains, No Headache, some of the best media that you can be consuming. Oh, a cow.
Pig, cow, what's the difference?
Okay, yeah, brisket. Yeah, that's just a nice little. It's the old. It looks like it's like Southern California on a cow.
Yeah. I mean,
If you could visualize that with
if
me.
a cow had chest hair, that's where the brisket came from.
Look at a cow broadside with its front to the left. Imagine that is the map of the United States. Brisket is Southern California, Arizona area.
So when you're telling me that when
We are a rib. Are we a rib? We're a rib.
that'd be Montana. No, I think we're more of a short.
You want a short loin?
Yeah.
We got a lot going on.
Yeah.
The whole East Coast is round.
Which is
South Florida is a shank.
so essentially every time that I'm eating round steak, I'm just eating ass.
Essentially, yes. In Philadelphia. You don't have to go to these places. You can just eat a part of a cow and it's like you're there.
And San Diego and Tijuana, Mexico are also a shank.
That's probably why there wasn't a brisket portion on the pig, because it's not part of a pig. That's my bad. I'm going to go ahead. Man up, hand up. I mistook. I thought. Well, we were on. You were asking me pork. I got on pork.
One of those
I'm
things
only
that
human.
They say that hot dogs is
I'm
just
embarrassed.
like the stuff that like no one else
Hot
wants
dogs?
in the pig, and that's like going to get me away from eating hot dogs. It's just not.
Poor man's nachos.
Put hot dogs on your poor man's nachos.
No, okay,
Cut
that
up
is-
hot dogs.
That's poverty line nachos.
That's welfare nachos.
Yeah. You ever had like just chips and then a mound of taco meat and that's it?
Yeah.
Is that poor man's nachos? If you kind of like make an individual chip and meat combo,
It's
it's a nacho.
I think nachos need cheese.
Now we're getting into
Let
semantics.
me throw something at you.
All right.
What do you think of Italian nachos?
What does that even mean?
It's like some sort of pepper, chicken,
Chicken?
and then it's like a white sauce, cheese white sauce.
Why wouldn't it be like salami and cuts of that sort of meat?
What's your problem?
Like a chopped Italian sandy on chips? Is that going to be good?
My algorithm's been a lot of sandwiches around New York City. So if I ever go to New York City, I know
You'll
a lot
hate
of
it.
Yeah, I just know it's one of those places. It's like what I thought cottage cheese was. I just thought I hated it, so I never ate it, and it turns out I actually like it.
One time I was in New York City and we were out to eat and I had to light the lamp in the bathroom and I get into this thing, Matt.
How many glory holes?
Oh my God. Several.
It was a
I
game.
didn't have time.
It looked like a game of Connect 4.
I got in there and my belt turned into just a puzzle. I was like, "Ah!" And dude, it was like 10 degrees warmer in there than the rest of the restaurant. And I'm like, a classic. I'm like, okay, I got a time limit here. I can't make this too obvious. I came out sweating.
Oh,
And it was so embarrassing.
I had
I
this-
can't go back.
Oh, I might even have more of an awkward situation that happened this last weekend in a bathroom. So
Okay, I didn't mean to open up for toilet talk.
no, this isn't toilet talk. This is me having really sweaty armpits, and they had one of those ones where it automatically does, and I literally had like my whole arm underneath
a
it.
blow dryer thing.
Yeah, trying to get my armpit to look not like Lake Michigan.
Yeah, show the camera.
It's bad.
Yeah, we've been talking. We're gonna get Matt some Botox in his left armpit only. We're gonna save. You know what? We're gonna do it in both.
Yeah. Well, so, and then as I'm doing that, and I'm like squatting in a really weird position, and a guy opens the bathroom door and like comes in, and we just, I like just look up at him, and I'm like, oh hey.
The old awkward eye contact. Sometimes I like to give a little pat on the back. Just to establish dominance, make it real. Yeah, is it awkward? Pat on the back. Yes. Now it's awkward. We don't even have to question it.
Like the guy in Sex Drive when he walks out into the bathroom and he does the glory hole, and then he walks out and another guy walks in, he just turns around and goes back into it.
Has your algorithm had a lot of glory holes lately? I'm getting that vibe.
No, but whenever
Second time you brought it up in 2 minutes.
Well,
Something's on his mind. You know what I mean? Poor man's nachos. How many ingredients is too many? I say, 3, 4 is really max. And that's without meat, okay?
Yeah.
You add a protein source to your poor man's nachos, we're talking middle class. You just jumped up a tax bracket like that because of one ingredient.
I will take cold cuts of chicken and shred that up and put that on there.
Yeah, how about like sandwich meat? You know, like sliced ham, sliced
I feel like that's
turkey?
still very poor man's.
Yeah,
'cause
that's very
like,
poor. 'Cause that's not even nacho bacon.
ooh, bacon bits that you can get from like Sam's Club or Costco that just come in the big ass bag. But it's actual bacon. That's a good one to put on there.
If only poor man's nachos weren't just terrible for
Yeah,
you.
do you want to cut this short and go make some nachos?
Well, I knew this was going to be a mistake talking about poor man's nachos out of the gate, but that's what I had. That's what we talked about. Moving on, Matt, Dirty Mike and the Boys.
Okay, so I know you do, love the movie The Other Guys, and has some of the greatest subplots
It's called a soup kitchen.
in movie history. Like Will Ferrell dating a bunch of guys, like or a bunch of hot chicks.
We had a big day out there. Big one. We got a full moon. People are going to be amped.
Captain Gene working at Bed Bath and Beyond.
Guess here for the new bath mats.
The TLC shows.
Yes.
Dirty Mike and the Boys. His Prius just getting abused. Well, I found out that in The Other Guys, the director wrote the part for Dirty Mike and the Boys and then cast himself to play it.
The director is Dirty Mike?
Yes.
The homeless guy who runs away?
Yeah, who has orgies in his Prius.
It's genius. I'm sure there's a lot of directors making cameos in movies we don't even know about.
So many. I just want to know who came up with all these, like him getting his gun taken away and them slowly like upgrading it with like a linseed oil.
The fact that he gets a wooden gun in replacement of his actual gun as a New York City police officer is just inexplainable. You know, you can't even get past that. But yeah, and then I love when he gets it back. He's like, Gator needs his gat back. And he's like on the phone and he's just like, whatever.
You punk ass bitch.
We got some more here, I think.
It's not a bribe.
Of course it's a bribe.
We have more.
Will Ferrell, one of my favorite subplots of that is
Gator don't play no shit. You feel me? Gator never been about that. Never been about playing no shit.
when Will Ferrell's character just gets really good at random things to make fun of kids that he grew up with.
That's Mark Wahlberg's.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It wants to get out, wants to walk around. It wants some walking around money, and it wants to buy some shoes.
Shoes. Yeah, well, that's literally our whole audio bank.
But there's the guy that plays, is it Will Arnett that plays the guy that they get the car back from, and he's listing everything that went on with it?
No, it's not Will Arnett, but I know who you're talking about.
Yes. So that guy, he had like a 5-minute gag reel of him just saying like random shit that like, it's like, well, Indian restaurant was using your trunk to throw their trash away. Someone started a community garden in your backseat. That's actually a plus. There's just so many good ones that he's just like, do you know what a chigger is?
What's a chigger?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's like, I think it looks like a shit or something.
A deer vagina?
Yeah. There's so many good ones, but it's like, yeah, every time I watch The Other Guys, I find something new that I love. And I think it's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
We've got one more in here.
Believe me, everybody that was in on this orgy was more than willing. In fact, they even left you a note here. Thanks for the F Shack. Love Dirty Mike and the boys.
There it is, Matt.
Oh man,
you bring up some really good points. Gag reel is amazing.
It's actually was pretty hard to find for a while, but now I think it's finally on like YouTube. It's so funny.
Check out The Other Guys gag reel, and you can hear all about Dirty Mike and the boys. Facebook, it's a crock of shit, man. It's getting terrible.
It's bad. Have you ever actually, like, when it suggests people, have you ever had it suggest someone that you're like, oh, I should be friends with them?
All the time. Do I do it? If I'm trying to sell some comedy tickets, you bet your sweet ass we're going to make that friends list grow organically. No, I came across a page called Dad Dinners. Okay? As if this needs to be a thing. Hey, let's post what we made for dinner as a dad. And it's very clearly shitty meals that I assume single divorced fathers made for themselves when they don't have their kids. Because apparently all I'm talking about is food today. The one I saw, I don't follow this page, it just suggested it for me, right? My algorithm's all messed up too. It was a toasted hamburger bun with sliced ham and barbecue sauce and a bag of Lay's original chips.
It just doesn't sound...
Poor man's nachos are way better than that.
Yeah, it's like, that's... Barbecue sauce on ham?
Yeah, it was toasted hamburger bun, sliced ham, barbecue sauce.
What's your thoughts about chicken tenders, but dunking them in ketchup?
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I did that today, and someone made fun of me.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of weird. That's like when people tuck their ears into their hat. You just can't trust them. You can't trust them as far as you can throw them. Now, if you're the food reviewer that Matt and I know, who's, I don't like, I can trust him about 75 feet because that's how far I can throw him. 25 yards.
Well, that kid also, like, before he even takes a bite of his pizza, he's just like, brings it up to his mouth and he's like 9.5.
I tried this one chili and it set my mouth on fire and I had to drink a 2-liter of Mountain Dew.
He will be eating something and be like, this isn't that good. 10 out of 10.
8.9. It's like, okay, you obviously liked it.
Or it'll be like a certain flavor of something. He'll be like, I don't really like flaming barbecue. 9.5. Okay.
I mean, if it gets the clicks, I guess. But honestly,
I think his crooked spine gets the clicks. Sorry.
I mean, there's a lot of kids out there that like try to do stuff like that. That's like pretty harmless stuff. But then people, including myself, just go after them in the comments.
Yeah. So I don't know why there needs to be a Facebook page called Dad Dinners and why it came up on my feed. First of all, I'm not a father. Second of all, yes, I've probably made that shitty of food for myself because I am just a bachelor and it doesn't really matter. Just give me some food in my belly, I'll be happy. But god damn it, have some respect for yourself, man. You know that he just doesn't have his kids that week.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really judge that much because what I've been doing recently is I have a rotisserie chicken that I'm literally just grabbing pieces of chicken.
That's fine. That's normal.
Chicken off with my hand.
People do that all the time.
It gets worse. And then I take the thing of buffalo sauce, and I just drizzle a little buffalo sauce on the chicken and eat it.
Okay, that's pretty gnarly. I mean, rotisserie chicken, that's what they're made for, though, man. I once ate, I was on a road trip with one of your college roommates, and we got close to our destination, stopped at the grocery store. We just bought a rotisserie chicken, and we just ate it with our hands in the parking lot and didn't speak for about 15 to 20 minutes. And it was the best part of the trip. It was awesome.
So either the trip...
And the car smelled like chicken the whole time.
Did you, like, take a bunch of the free dipping sauces that they had?
No, just plain. We just ate the meat off the bone.
Jesus, how much weed did you smoke?
A lot. It was a long road trip. It was several hours long,
Well, I
gotta get through it somehow.
I went on a bachelor party one time, and we were so drunk that we had all these burgers, and we just made the burgers and forgot to season them. We didn't notice it until we got home, and there was like a thing of garlic salt and pepper that were just unopened. We're like, we ate those burgers all weekend.
Yeah, you can't fix it. But we also have on Facebook, there's man caves pages. Have you experienced this?
Some of them are awful.
That's what I'm about to say. It's just like they post the picture of their man cave, and it's just a TV on a wall in a shed with a lawn chair in front of it.
I mean, if your definition of man cave is where a sad person jerks off, then yeah, that's a sweet man cave.
Like, it always has the caption, "Not much, but it'll get me out of the house." It's like, okay, well, you clearly love your family.
I love the shop ones where they don't even have a fridge out there. They just have a cooler.
In their own garage. And the fridge is like 30 feet away.
They don't have a fridge in their garage, but they just use a cooler in their man cave. It's like, if you're going to have a man cave, spend the $50 for a fridge.
Which brings me to my next point. Why do people hang out in their garages so much? You have a whole house that you're paying a mortgage for. Okay? We're here in North Dakota. We get the extremes. We're starting to get a bit chilly around here. So you're pumping that heat. You're going to go hang out in your garage? Summertime. It's blazing hot out. Humid as can be. Matt's left armpit has sweat through his shirt and then some. It's now dripping down his arm. It's so hot out. And you got the AC cranked on inside. Let's go sit a lawn chair out in the garage. Why do we do this?
I think they just want a different place to drink, maybe. But even then, I would much rather be at
But then, this is, we have what we call basements here.
Yeah.
Like there's, depending on what your living situation is, of course, you should have more options. You could be on a whole different level in the house. You're still getting the benefits of the heat or air conditioning, but you're away from them. You're watching your television. You may even have a fridge in there, so you don't have to have a cooler next to you. I watched a football game in a garage not too long ago. I almost got frostbite on my toes.
See, that's the ones I don't get. If your garage is not insulated.
I mean, this one was insulated and heated, but still, it's just a garage. It's just still like more chilly than a normal. I was like, is there something wrong with the living room?
Like the bi-monthly poker game that I go to occasionally is in some guy's garage. And the last time I went, they're like, wear a sweatshirt. It gets pretty cold in there. And I was like, where I wouldn't have to wear a sweatshirt is 12 feet inside your fully finished basement that has no kids around.
I don't know. It baffles me in the summertime. I'm driving around. You see people, they got the lawn chair parked in the garage. They're watching traffic come by. I don't know. It just doesn't make a whole lot to me.
For whatever reason, I keep getting like recommended for me on Facebook is like people looking for roommates that are going to like Central Florida or like Alabama. And it'd be like 2 guys looking for someone to fill our 3rd apartment. It's like, how is this recommended to me?
2 guys looking for an occasional wobbly age.
Yeah. Must be female.
Yeah.
Tell me when.
Yeah. Are you moving to Central Florida?
No. I was like, I don't know what I searched for to be like, that's what, or it's like, my recommended for you is it's never anything that I should like have. It's like, why would I want an inflatable?
If you had to move somewhere like more than 2 states away, where would it be?
Probably Omaha.
Omaha?
Either Omaha or...
Oh my God, Nebraska?
Yeah, probably Omaha. It's a town I know pretty well, and it's pretty cool.
Okay.
What about you?
If you had to take Omaha off.
I don't do well in heat.
You don't do... Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It is cold out, and you're just... I feel like you run warm. Are you one of them warm guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably Chicago, actually.
Chi-town.
Yeah, it would be like suburbs of Chicago.
Nice. Go check out some Cubs games.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one big city that has like the most simple like public transportation, because it's literally just like one goes east and west and then one goes north and south. Like it's really hard to get lost. Do I do it sometimes? Yes, but
that'd be good for you. If I had to choose, probably go back to the motherland of Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know if it'd be Phoenix per se, but
somewhere around there where you can like go for hikes and.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good.
Do you like Denver?
I do. I feel like it's.
Isn't it getting just stupid expensive to live there and kind of becoming like the Bozeman of the South?
Yes, I feel like those cities or towns along the Rocky Mountain range, that just seems to be, I don't know, I feel like people are flocking to more, you're like closer to the really beautiful part of nature, but it's still like a wealthy part of the country to live, I guess. Like, yes, Denver is getting expensive. I don't know, I'd have to go scout it out more. I'd just say Arizona, Phoenix, because I'm familiar with that area. I think I would like it too, just because it's like dude, I'll go outside and work for a while, and it's like, oh man, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I feel like I would do well in some place like Indianapolis or the outskirts of there.
But it's just, I feel like it'd be difficult to go to a place I've never been to before.
Yeah.
I would definitely go scout it out for like a weekend to go check it out. And like that's, instead of doing the classic, you know, just kind of get blackout drunk and check out a football game. It's like, well, we're actually going to tour the city and like look at places.
If you're in witness protection and they're like, well, you're going to go to this small town in Tennessee. Here's a job at a gas station. Go nuts. I'd be like, honestly, that doesn't sound half bad.
Doesn't sound bad at all. Discount on your cigarettes because you're going to take up smoking.
Yeah, 3 hots and a cot.
That's true. All the books you can dream of. 60 minutes a week of rec time. Get out of town.
And I think in like rural
Yep.
Tennessee, I would be one of the smarter ones there.
Yeah, that's true. You kind of put yourself out there and the competition is a lot lesser than you. That's smart. You leverage your position right away. Establish yourself as a respected, part of the community.
Yeah. Like, actually, I probably couldn't do that because I'm in witness protection.
All right. If me and you say, like, no brains, no headache, they're like, you guys got to move. Where would we go?
I would want a small enough market, but a big enough market.
Right in the pocket.
So
where does Matt and Jordan go if they have to go as a duo? Oh man, let me
throw this at you. You can send it right back if you don't like it. Hoboken, New Jersey.
Absolutely not.
Okay. What about Maine or somewhere in the Northeast?
I've heard good thing about Portland, Maine.
You heard good thing? Like
good things.
Like they got lobsters. That's it.
San Diego.
It's too expensive.
Matt, this is a hypothetical.
I can't really do hypotheticals. My brain doesn't work like that. I'll find something bad in any place that I go.
All right, Chicago. Are we going to Chicago? We moving the pod to Chicago?
I think we would do well in Chicago.
I don't think. Yeah, we wouldn't do bad. I mean, one of us is getting murdered
for sure.
Week 2.
Or I fall asleep on the train and it just gets to the end of the line and I get off in south part of Chicago and just get shot in the head.
This is like a modern day Oregon Trail,
We just get in the car. We each have a suitcase. I forget to pack mine. We have to buy clothes at our first stop. Or like my brother, who's
Gas
really
station
intelligent.
toothbrush.
Yeah, we were coaching Special Olympics in like Grand Forks, and he was like, "Hey, do you mind swinging by Target? I forgot socks, underwear, and all of my toiletries."
You blew it!
I was like, "How do you have a full-time job?"
Yeah,
the
toiletries I can kind of understand because it's like kind of a separate thing. You throw your clothes together, but yeah.
So that same trip,
for people who don't bring phone chargers places and they need a very specific charger, it's like, go F yourself.
Do you have a charger for a Samsung Galaxy from 2016?
Do you have a charger? What was those things called? The chocolates where they would just like slide up and they had like a DJ spinner.
Yeah.
You have a charger for a Nokia chocolate?
Yeah, a Motorola Razr from 2007.
Oh, dude,
So that same trip, I'm like, I don't want to stay in this hotel. And so I was like, my buddy lived there. And I was like, Tommy, can I stay with you? He's like, yeah, it's actually perfect. I have this sick couch, which is kind of a weird flex. Me thinking it was actually going to be a cool couch. Nope, it was a love seat from like 2004. Smelled horrible. And I literally just slept on the ground for like 5 hours. And I was like, don't play it up like you have a sweet couch when my 5'4" ass is too big for it.
Yeah, that's not great. That was always great in college, going down to my basement, the following morning and just seeing somebody cuddled up on the love seat and they have like the Jack Daniels poster off the wall as their blanket.
Using the doormat.
Yeah.
Using a door.
It was just in a Busch Light 30 rack.
I remember one time I was so cold sleeping in a basement that I literally took the couch cushions off and laid on the couch, and then
so uncomfortable.
and then use the couch cushions as a blanket.
Was the warmth better than the comfort?
I don't know. I was so drunk that I probably could have just slept in the street.
Yeah, that is true.
But it's one of those where you wake up and you're like, ugh. Yeah.
Well, episode 229. We are all over the place. Let's move on.
Before I move on to why I hate fantasy football, have you ever heard of Dave Bluntz?
I don't think so.
He's a rapper that uses a ton of auto-tune, and he's fucking humongous.
That guy.
He's on...
like, not popular, like, physically humongous.
Yeah, he's so fat. And he wears, like...
Yeah.
Like a giant purple jumpsuit.
Yeah,
and
no, I know exactly what you're
his
talking about
concert, he sits on a love seat, and he's on oxygen.
It's a lot of poor man's nachos.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. But fantasy football, I missed the playoffs again. Second highest scoring team in the league.
That's brutal.
Took third to last.
If it makes you feel any better, the Jahunga's football edition did not make it either. A lot of points on the bench this year.
Well, it's one of those, it sucks. Everything sucks about, oh, you get Nico Collins. He plays like 4 games. Great. I play against like Saquon Barkley when he goes off for 68 points. 68? He had so many, and then I played. Oh. And this week I squeak out a victory. I'm up little less than 17 points, and all he has left, thank you, is the Kansas City kicker. Scores 16 points, and I win by like 0.7, but still miss the playoffs.
How do you really feel?
And then in my other league, which is with a bunch of people that I don't know, my team's actually pretty good, and I just know it's going to end in heartbreak.
Is there money on the line?
Yeah, like this one's actually the most money I've ever put into a league. Like I think it's like $250
per team.
Yeah,
it's a lot of cash flow. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Sorry to hear that. The one that really means a lot to you sucks.
Well, see, that's the one I would rather win. I don't really care about the money one.
Do we completely forget to do a podcast team this year?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we kind of got away from
it.
Mini helmet. R.I.P. in peace.
Yeah, we caught kind of lightning in a bottle that first year when we won the league.
Well, I think when our whole strategy was to join a public league, and hopefully everyone just didn't care.
Yeah.
And that's what I think we got the first year. And that was like, I was like, man, I'm telling you, if we just get in a shitty public league, we can dominate. That's what happened the first year. Then we ran into a couple of roadblocks, like people actually trying.
And then we got really bad about checking the league, so
it was you.
Yeah, but I mean, I was trying to share the blame, hoping that you'd be like, "Yeah, I was also." It
was my idea.
Yeah, but it's tough out there.
Yeah, that was my.
Maybe we'll try it again next year. Hopefully, luck into a league of tard squads.
You know, early on in the podcast, that was one of my many schemes to try to make a little extra cash. You know,
and I mean, realistically, we're still up in fantasy football leagues for the podcast.
Still up.
Because we won the first year and then lost the next 2. But I digress.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but nobody cares.
Yeah. And now it's like, I have Notre Dame made the playoffs, which is sweet.
Matt, we will get there.
Yeah, but
keep it in your pants.
The Panthers just keep playing close games. So I think they're well coached, by far and away the worst roster in the NFL.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's
Do they actually have a first round pick next year?
Yeah, it'll be like top 5.
Whoa. Left tackle. Here we go.
Yeah, well, they just drafted a left tackle. I don't know what they're going to do. It'll probably be like a defensive end that breaks everything.
Well, Matt is on one right now. Fantasy football's got him flustered. The Panthers can't seem to pull it together, but I think this is working in your favor, Matt. A higher draft pick is important.
Maybe we don't have a second round pick because we traded that to the Bears, so that's sweet. I don't even know what to do. It's like we're rebuilding. It's like we haven't made the playoffs in 9 years.
It takes a while to build the palace.
And then you got like baseball's doing some shit. Like Juan Soto signed. I looked this up. He signed for $765 million, which is higher than the GDP of 9 countries.
Pays to play.
Apparently, it pays almost $1 billion.
Well, when you sent that to me earlier, I had no idea what you're talking about. But then, when you told me, I started thinking about it. I mean, how far off are we from a player getting a contract that is in the billions? How far away are we? A couple of years?
10 years, maybe.
10 years?
Because, I mean, he signed a 15-year deal, so that's like...
and that's what the future of baseball is. A lot of these young players that are really promising signing what was the last one?
Ohtani signed a 10-year, $700 million.
Yeah.
So he's more
a
AAV.
double-digit contract. But in baseball, I feel like you know what you got,
But Ohtani's also going to...
I know what I have. It's a piss jug. Yeah. No low balls.
But then you have teams like Tom Ricketts and the Cubs who's just like, we're spending too much money. We should send...
We need to buy more apartments across the street.
Yeah, that hotel we built in Wrigleyville is really hemorrhaging money. No, it's doing great. I mean, it's sold out for 9 months a year. But then you also have his, we need to save money because we spent so much money upgrading Wrigley Field. It's like you sell 40,000 tickets a game.
Interessante.
Beers are $14. How are we losing money here?
I don't know. I just can't wait for the day when it's like Tom Jones signs a 12-year, $1 billion contract.
Dude, it's coming.
Yeah, we're close. Patrick Mahomes had a honky.
He had a 500,000, which was the biggest for. And I don't think NFL can get much
500
bigger.
million.
500 million. 500,000 is what
I think he takes a shit in the morning, and when he wipes his ass, it's $500,000.
And my freaking Battlehawks are going to lose our head coach to West Virginia, so that's tough.
Wow, Matt, you are just going through it right now as a sports fan. T's and P's, everybody, for Ongo over here. He can't seem to get it together, but the one thing that you do have going for you still, until that ultimately ends in heartbreak, the college football playoff bracket is officially out. It's the first of its kind, of this quantity, of this magnification. 12-team playoff for the first time in history. I think it's been 9 years with the 4-team playoff, which is crazy to think about. And back to the BCS days. Boy, was there some doozies, but this kind of helps with it. However, there still is some question marks.
I will say something, and I really don't want to be mad about the college football playoff because it's what we've always wanted. I don't like the top 4 conference winners getting a bye.
Why?
Because Boise State and Arizona State are significantly worse than Texas, Tennessee, Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame, and probably Indiana.
Okay, well, here's the deal, Matt. I think it's just because there's 2 teams there, Arizona State and Boise State. And for reference, there's 4 teams who have a bye. Oregon's number 1. My Georgia Bulldogs are number 2. Boise State 3. Arizona State 4. So I think just because those aren't powerhouse programs in general, I don't think they're getting the respect that they so deserve. Because, Matt, in the Big 12, I mean, you have teams like BYU, Iowa State, Colorado, Baylor, TCU, Texas Tech. You know, those teams just didn't pull it off. Arizona State did. Big 12 is, I mean, you got to respect the program. You got to respect the conference to a certain degree. So obviously the SEC is creme de la creme. It's the best there is. Oregon, the Pac-12 is no more. They're in the Big 10, so they, defeat teams like Ohio State, Michigan, teams of that nature. Will go to it right now. Big 10.
It's Big 10, SEC, 50 feet of shit.
Well, I don't know what to tell you then, Matt. The college football just got themselves into a real, cockhole here because, well, what about the ACC? They just weren't that powerful of a of a conference. Clemson wins the ACC. They're national champions in the past. They have a powerhouse program. I would say they have a top 10 respected program in modern college football.
Oh, for sure.
Dabo Swinney, they got all these players coming through. They produce a lot of NFL talent. They win the ACC. They're a 3-loss team. They get the 12th seed. They beat SMU, although they made it close. SMU used to be in fucking Conference USA or whatever. All this realignment has caused to be a shithole. So I agree with what you're saying, Matt. But I think if you win that conference, Mountain West could be a question mark. I will say that. Mountain West is a question mark. I think you got to move the ACC over. And then any other year, Matt, like back when Clemson was a powerhouse, you would have teams like the SEC team, Clemson, the Ohio State, Michigan, before Oregon joined, of course. And then you'd have just your fourth team, which is probably some schmuck team. But I agree with what you're saying. But they win their conference, and that apparently is like the criteria that is new to us because this is the first year doing it. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, there's just not the classic powerhouses this year besides Oregon.
Oregon's undefeated.
Georgia.
Texas is pretty good.
Bama's not as good as they are. So I think that's even weird, just not having Bama there. Michigan, your defending champions, they have a dog shit season. They made a bowl game, but they weren't even in this discussion.
What's the most intriguing first-round matchup?
All right, so let's go through them for the sake of our listeners. Number 12, Clemson, plays number 5, Texas.
I think Texas in a landslide.
I think Texas is going to win that one as well. You have number 9, Tennessee, at number 8, Ohio State. Apparently, this is a very rare matchup. I got to give the nod to Ohio State. I just have to. You have number 11, SMU, at number 6, Penn State.
I'm going to say Penn State wins that game by 450 points.
I would probably have to agree with you there, but this is college sports. So I just don't know if... I agree Penn State's the better team, better program. Then you have number 10, Indiana, at Matt's beloved number 7, Notre Dame. The winner will face Georgia.
I think that Indiana-Notre Dame game is going to be the sloppiest football game ever. It's going to be like 17-11.
In favor of Notre Dame.
Yeah, because, both offenses are okay.
I just don't see a sweep of the higher seeds. Something's going to get messed up here.
I think Ohio State-Tennessee is a juggernaut matchup. They're both pretty well coached, and whoever wins that one...
SMU.
But I would rather, if I was Texas, I would rather be like where they're at the 5 seed, because then if they beat Clemson and Arizona State, which they're going to be double-digit favorites in both of those games, they're into the semis. Same with Penn State. They get Boise State, who's no
I'd rather be a 1-4 seed and have a bye.
Well, that's also true.
Are the quarterfinals all neutral site?
Actually, no, that's not true. I would rather be the 5 seed instead of the 1 seed because Oregon gets Ohio State, Tennessee. And Clemson and Texas gets 2 teams.
I'm just saying, you got to give a little respect to Boise State and Arizona State.
I will not. But Boise State, yes. Arizona State, no.
They have a white running back.
Oh, I'm back in.
He's putting respect on our name.
Have you seen Cooper DeJean, the Eagles' white cornerback?
Yes.
There was a a meme of him going back to Iowa for homecoming, and he's dressed as Kip from Napoleon Dynamite after he meets LaFonda.
Love it. Putting respect on the name. I don't know. And that's what I was going to talk to you about as part of this discussion. I don't see there being a sweep of all the higher seeds. I would say the 2 teams that I would pick would be Tennessee, and I don't know, something magical about SMU. I have no idea why. I'm just feeling it. I hate to say it. I could maybe even see an Indiana.
I just don't think Indiana's very good.
But the thing about this playoff is we're gonna find out.
Yeah, and I do love part. I love the home game aspect of the first 2 rounds are home games, and then you get into like the neutral site games.
It's all gonna be about how, I think Oregon and Georgia, they should win whoever they match up with, which could be Notre Dame. Which if they do, you and I are definitely betting on that.
I get Georgia.
Okay. Then no. But I think it's going to be all about how Arizona State and Boise State handle the bye. Because as a football team, it's kind of a long season. It's nice to have a little break, get healthy, re-energized. But you could also argue the other thing. Same with the NFL playoffs. You get the bye. Oh, sometimes they come out slow. Is it better to just keep playing or not? I don't know. You get one of these first round games gets into one of those long overtime games like Georgia Tech a few weeks ago. It's going to wear them out. And then they're going up against a team who has just won their conference. So momentum's in their favor and they're rested up. They're ready to go. And they've had extra time to prepare.
I'll say something that contradicts what I said earlier.
Fantastic.
So I do get why the conference champions have the bye because they played another game. Like Ohio State didn't play a game.
Yes.
So giving them that extra week is kind of fair.
Well, and that's what it is. Arizona State beat Iowa State, so it was a top 25 matchup. They're the top of their conference. I think
there's always going to be one team, though, that gets shafted, like Clemson.
Well, they lost too many games earlier in the season.
Exactly.
So that's their own fault.
Yeah.
They lost to Georgia 34-3 to start the season.
Yeah, that's what they get for having a wiffle ball court in their facility.
So I get that. And, I mean, they deserve to be in, and I think that's huge. Top 12 teams. Because even for me, this was weird. It's like, what are these other teams? What's SMU doing here? What's Boise State doing here? What's Arizona State doing here? What's Indiana doing here? All the other programs, you could argue, are blue chip programs. But that's the fun of it, man. Yeah. We're going to find out. We got 12 teams.
And you're going to see a quarterfinal matchup of like Penn State and Boise State on the Smurf turf in Boise,
So
Idaho.
Those quarterfinals are home games for the bye teams?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You did not sound very confident.
I would say 89% sure.
Because those start to get to be the big bowl games, it's like Cotton Bowl.
We do like printable bracket.
I'll show you a printable bracket.
Avakaviki haka.
All right, schedule dates, all that stuff. It doesn't say where it is. Because the quarterfinals is the Fiesta Bowl, Peach Bowl, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl. I don't think, Matt, those are going to be at a college stadium. I think those got to be at a neutral site.
I mean, the more you're talking to me, the more I feel like I was wrong. So
that's what I was saying. That's why I think that, they say number 5 Texas is like the best seed to have. Because, yes, these first round games are home games, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So, because I saw something like Notre Dame will be like the first game that they haven't had on NBC. And
it's nice to see the last thing that I Googled was Shaggy from Scooby.
But that's why people are saying, yes, the 5 seed for Texas, they get the home game.
Yep.
And then I think it gets to neutral site games the rest of the way. So it's not technically going to Arizona State. Arizona State, they can't be having a quarterfinal game at Arizona State. Come on, man. Boise State. Ridiculous. I don't know for sure. But the other thing I wanted to ask you, Matt, so, NCAA basketball, we got the bracketology, the March Madness. You fill out the bracket, and, there's all sorts of upsets. Now, on a completely different scale, there's like 68 total teams if you include the play-in games for the March Madness for basketball. This is only 12. Did you hear of any outlet out there doing a bracket thing where you could try to predict it?
I'm sure there is one.
Well, I think that's going to get more and more popular, but I think they're going to have like a winner the very first year.
I did see some guy, he suggested a 5-week regular season and then a 68 team bracket.
Yeah. Could be interesting. A lot of upsets.
Somehow Georgia Southern made it to the Final Four because we had a We Are Marshall situation in the Elite Eight.
Well, if one of the 5 to 12 seeds makes it to the national championship, I mean, that's 4 extra games on top of their schedule. Yeah. Clemson or SMU, they had that conference championship game. Penn State also did. They lost to Oregon. So they have they're going to end up having, if they go to the national championship, they will have
I love how Notre Dame just refuses to join a conference, so they're never going to get a first round bye.
Yeah, is that going to change how they do things?
I just can't see them joining a conference in my lifetime.
They're Catholic?
On the contrary,
snobs?
they're a bunch of Jews.
Oh, nice.
They love their money they make from
Yeah.
not joining a conference.
Here, we have a giant wall with Jesus Christ on our campus.
Yes, touchdown Jesus.
Scholarships, we don't do those here.
Yeah, we give you academic scholarships to just do a bunch of blow and
blow out back porches,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. So yeah, bracketology. I mean, I'm just saying in the future, now that this is the first year this is out, next year I think it'd be interesting to see, and we should definitely do it beginning of the season. Try to do it, or
make a prediction.
Do a beginning of the season one, and then right before, because they had the weekend of conference championships, get those settled. And then the college playoff committee, they had that video of them watching the games. And what I do respect about it, I will say one nice thing about the awkward, nerdy-looking nerds watching, is it was like a ghetto setup. Did you see the monitors? There was like one big TV, very clearly another monitor like brought in that wasn't there before. They got like the patch job up here with another TV.
Why not just go to a sports bar and rent out their side room that probably has 7 TVs? Well,
because, Matt, this is the college football playoff committee, and they're all, like athletic directors and
which still didn't work because
figures.
There was a leak and someone tweeted out that SMU got in before Alabama before the selection.
Interesting.
Yeah. Everyone was outrageously pissed.
Yeah, I bet Bama fans aren't very happy at all, but I don't know, win more games, I guess, don't get in that situation.
You should try just being better at football. That
sucks because they did beat Georgia, but they also lost to Vanderbilt and other teams of that nature.
One thing led to another.
So there's all sorts of that, but I don't know. I just don't trust it. I think I saw the one tweet is classic, like, well, no wings, no beers. I can't trust this committee. It is true though. These guys just look like squares. They very clearly just got checked into their hotel. The one guy was drinking sparkling water. It was like, oh my God.
They put you up in a Red Roof Inn.
Yeah. So I think, we need to
pay for your own food.
Go on a more extensive search for a better playoff committee, or at least, show them being normal football fans and not just a bunch of bigwigs who are just corporate cocksuckers, is how I would put it. Yeah, Excuse my French.
Why not give
corporate fellatio performers?
There you go. How about a wild card where one person in the selection committee you just put into a lottery and they pick a random fan out, and then it's gonna be like me in there, Notre Dame's 3-8, and be like, guys,
it's gonna be the South Carolina Gamecocks fan who's like, we got a pretty impressive resume.
All right, the 8 losses, yes. But those 3 wins.
Your team isn't even bowl eligible. They're not even going to go to the Tax Slayer Bowl.
Come in with a bunch of graphs you printed out from Staples that just don't mean anything. All right, let me tell you here.
According to my calculations, the Gamecocks can be national champions, and here's how.
So if Western Kentucky... someone actually did it one year.
If we wouldn't have lost to North Texas in week 2, we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
The shithole of a college football team that was at the school that I went to, somehow, it's like if A beat C and B beat D.
The whole circle.
Yeah, someone did that, and they're like, yep, University of Mary should have been national champions. I was like, how did you get to that point? Like, it was like A, and then it was
the fact that you're diving into what conference or what division are they in or whatever?
NICS and CSI.
That is a networking company in Mandan, North Dakota.
NCIS?
That is a TV show.
NSIC. That's it.
That's the network.
Northern Sun Intercontinental.
Whatever conference. The fact that this fan is deep diving enough to figure out the ending Wheel of Fortune. Mary's not an accredited school. I don't know how many times I have to say this. What is an accredited school is Georgia. They are my pick to win the national championship. I'd be damned if they don't. I could see Georgia, Oregon. I know it's boring. It's the 1 versus 2 seed. Matt, what's your pick?
I'm going to say a Penn State versus Oregon final.
Wait, should we do Should we do a live bet right now and just pick the whole field? You get 6, I get 6.
Yep, loser has to do the Forrest Gump challenge.
What's the Forrest Gump challenge?
15 Dr. Peppers in one day.
Fuck. Diet Dr. Pepper?
No, that's fine.
All right, you're on. Okay. Do I get first pick, or how does this work?
That's fine.
Oh, boy.
You keep track of it because I'm not writing anything down.
Yeah, no, I am.
Just give me all the orange teas.
Okay, where is this at? Oh, running tab with Matt. Okay. We are going to do the... What the hell's going on, man? Does your screen ever just, like, not work?
I don't know.
Why am I in paint?
Here, I can write it down.
I got it. Okay. Who's going first? Do we have the Buffalo Nickel nearby?
Yep. It's on top of the Kirby bucket bowl. All right, signature Buffalo Nickel. Jordan, call it in the air.
Tails. Is Tails Buffalo?
Yes.
Okay. I will take Georgia.
All right, give me Oregon.
Okay. Hold on. Matt takes Oregon with his pick. I will take... give me Texas.
All right, give me Boise State.
Interesting. Give me Penn State.
I will take Notre Dame.
Okay, sorry, you said Oregon, Boise State, Notre Dame. All right, we're picking the whole field. Somebody's going to win this goddamn bet and have to watch the other person drink 15 Dr. Peppers. Do we have to do anything?
We'll document it and make like a reel out of it.
If you're a medical doctor out there, please intervene and tell us how unhealthy this is.
My spleen just explodes out of my body.
Okay, I will take Arizona State.
Give me Ohio State.
Damn it. It was a good pick. Okay, now I need to start thinking a little strategy here. Tennessee.
Give me Clemson.
Give me SMU.
So I get Indiana.
Yes.
I mean, theoretically, we could have gone the other way because now we both just have one matchup. But, I mean, it's team by team, so whatever. That works.
Well, it's going to get interesting after the first round.
Yep, for sure.
All right. You have... So Matt has Oregon, Boise State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Clemson, Indiana. I have Georgia, Texas, Penn State, Arizona State, Tennessee, SMU. So the Clemson-Texas matchup is split, but then I kind of have
you have SMU and Penn State, and then I have Indiana, Notre Dame.
Yeah, so then we have Tennessee versus Ohio State, which I will give you the nod, but then you have Oregon, which is what I was thinking, like, okay, well, once you run into Oregon,
yep,
good luck.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
All right.
I'm paying, and honestly, I love this bet more than any monetary value because it is going to fucking suck for the other person.
15 Dr. Peppers coming your way. And just as an update, since I'm here, NFL week 14.
Yep. Is
just wrapping up right now. Like I said, the Vikes improved to 11-2. Still chasing the Lions. We're getting closer to the playoffs, which means we're getting closer to the Super Bowl. As a reminder, our Super Bowl picks, Matt picked the Chiefs, Bengals, Eagles, and Panthers. Let's pause for a moment. So the Chiefs are going to the playoffs. The Eagles are going to the playoffs. The Panthers are not.
Shucks.
Bengals play as we record on a Monday. That could be your only other shot. I have Ravens, Texans, 49ers, Rams. I think the Ravens are going to make it. I hope the Texans can pull it off. The 49ers and Rams are going to beat the piss out of each other.
You pick two in the same division?
Well, Matt, it was either them or like the Lions, the Packers, the Vikings.
You just named three pretty good choices.
This was at the beginning of the season.
True.
Okay, so I wasn't confident in the Vikings. I'll admit it. I was wrong. But here we are at 11-2. A great coach. Great team overall. And I wasn't going to pick the Lions or the Packers. Are you kidding? So that was my only choice. I could have gone with like the Commanders. I just don't know if they have it. But anyway, that's our update.
That's our show.
And that is our show. Thanks for hanging with us for episode 229. Next week, we'll have episode 230 for you. And that'll be it for 2024 with Christmas and the New Year upon us. We're going to take a couple of weeks off just because they land in the middle of the week. And want you guys to go enjoy your time with your family and your friends and enjoy the holidays. If you still want to listen to No Brains, No Headache, you sure can. We have up to 230 episodes for you to listen to. So make sure you check them out. Make sure you're following us on all social media. Matt, where are we at out on the intro web?
Any of your favorite social media platforms. It's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. You can watch the entire episode. And then if you can leave us a review, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, Apple Music, or Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts, you can really give us a rating. It goes a long way.
Yeah. Thank you for everybody watching on YouTube. Seems to be the new wave. Check us out on YouTube. You can watch the show as well. Seems to be a lot of fun. Upcoming comedy show dates will be at Gideon's Brewing Company this Wednesday, December 11th for the final open mic night of 2024. If you show up, feel free to wear your best ugly Christmas sweater. Which reminds me, episode 230, probably going to be heavy Christmas theme. I got a lot coming at you.
Maybe even an Olympics of something Christmas related?
Possibly. We'll see what happens. But we'll be at Gideon's this Wednesday, open mic night. And then we're going to be off for a while until the new year. But if you're looking for a good Christmas gift, look no further than the link in our bio. There you can buy tickets to the show at the Bell Mayhews Auditorium on Saturday, January 25th. We got Tommy Brennan, an ex-guest from this show. He's been on here before chatting with us. We have Aiden McCluskey.
An ex-felon.
He's been on the show as well. He's performed in Bismarck a couple times. Matt and I went to check him out. We got Brandon Loftus, Bismarck's finest. Myself will be hosting. Matt's going to be there as well, helping me out. So it's going to be a good show. It's our biggest one yet. Once again, that's Saturday, January 25th at the Bell Mayhews Auditorium, or the Bell Mayhews, as we're calling it. It's going to be a great time, and I think it would be a great Christmas gift for you to give to yourself, your loved ones, your friends, family, whoever. Maybe your boss. I don't know. You don't know what to buy them. There's that person out there who's hard to shop for. Get him a comedy show ticket. All right? The prices right now are the best they will be. Don't wait. Get them that Christmas gift now. Check the link in our bio or go to the Bismarck Event Center event page and go down to January 25th. You're going to see Comedy Night presented by No Brains, No Headache. And we got the guys coming to town. We'll also be at the Poppy Creative February 22nd in Mandan, North Dakota. Lineup will be revealed soon. But those are our dates coming up. Make sure you put them on your calendar and keep joining us every week for No Brains, No Headache. We got next week, then we're taking a break to the new year. So we got our schedule out there. We got our social medias out there. One of us is going to be drinking 15 Dr. Peppers. I think the national championship is January something. We are going to know, okay? We are going to figure out when and where one of us is drinking 15 Dr. Peppers. January 20th, we will find out. Maybe even before.
Yeah.
It could go where it's like, well, you want to get it done? Matt and I.
On Saturday, sitting in my garage alone with one lawn chair.
Hey, we appreciate you guys listening to yet another show of No Brains, No Headache. Pleasure was all mine. And we'll see you next week for episode 230.
You're watching Channel 4 News with 5-time Emmy Award-winning anchor Ron Burgundy and Tits McGee.
Good evening, San Diego. I'm Veronica Corningstone. Tits McGee is on vacation.